Hi everyone, I'm Phoebe, and today I will be making my first ever podcast. So, before I start, I would like to extend a huge grateful thank you to my mutuals and friends on Twitter for helping me out with this podcast and for encouraging me because I actually hesitated to do this because I really had no idea what to talk about, especially like filming myself. I've never done a podcast before, but since this is for my assignment, and since I will be talking about a topic that I personally like, I just hope that I can do well and I can actually deliver some points clearly. And so, the topic that I chose for my podcast is K pop. Now, I will be sharing my own opinions and knowledge on K pop, so it might be different for different people. And yeah, I will be sharing my own opinions. So, K pop in general means Korean pop, but it doesn't have to mean like just K-pop groups. It can be K-pop solo artists and so on. K-pop like Korean pop. So back in high school, I think my own experience, back in high school when you mention K-pop, people would think about BTS or Blackpink because they're big groups now. But like some other people would think about maybe other groups and so on. So like I said, there are many K-pop groups and K-pop. Like there are various concepts which are very interesting. Not just like their songs are different, but also their whole concept in general. They have like storylines for each groups. I think so. Like for each group they have like their own concept and storylines. For BTS, for example, they have their own storylines, and the storylines can actually be connected through music videos. I think, like this goes to every group, I think. But for BTS, they have like a book for their storylines, and I just find it very interesting. Like, imagine having a book for storylines. Okay, so moving on to the important part. You can say important. It's like to the main part. Like for me personally, I get asked this a lot. Like people would ask me like, why do I stand groups? Like why do I like K-pop? Why do I listen to K-pop? But the thing is, they don't use the word like. They instead like they would ask me, why am I so obsessed with K-pop? Though I don't prefer the word obsessed because it's not really an obsession. It's just like I listen to K-pop daily. I can't really say daily. Maybe like I listen to K-pop most of the time, and I keep update with certain groups. When people call that an obsession. Now I wanna explain to why most people actually listen to K-pop. I think, okay, this is my own personal opinion. Some people might love K-pop because they have like amazing stage presence. They are very interesting. They really do have like interesting performances, uh, which is like also one of the reasons why I like K-pop, because they are very interesting in terms of like vocals, dancing, and just like their whole performance itself. But I think like most other people would, rather than saying like liking, they grow. Okay, I don't know what am I saying, but they cope on K-pop. By coping on K-pop, I mean when you have you have you're like very stressed, so you cope on K-pop to distract yourself from problems you have. I think that's what I do, using K-pop as a coping mechanism for you, like to distract yourself, your mind, to just don't think about your own problems that would like drive your emotions insane, you can say. So I think most people do cope on K-pop, which helps them mentally, not just mentally, I think physically too, because if you're mentally drained, then you physically just really don't want to do anything at all, because that's what I do. I actually cope on K-pop. I actually started studying a group back in elementary school, I think, but I can't really say I stand the group, because back in elementary school I went through a lot of phases, and K-pop was one of them, but it wasn't like something I did properly, you can say. Like, I only listened to it, but I only listened to like a few songs, and I know the group, but I don't actually keep update with the group. So when you say stan, I think it's more like you like the group and you sometimes keep update with the group. So I actually stopped like after elementary school, and then I started liking K-pop back in 2018 when I was in high school. I actually went through a lot. Rather than saying I went through a lot, it was actually a very stressful year for me. Um, you know, high school students are, you can say, very stressful sometimes, especially like, doing homeworks and stuff, catching up with exams and stuff, you know. And so it was, you can say, a tough year. So, but back then I really didn't understand K-pop too. I was like most other confused people. Like, I really didn't understand like why people listen and actually love K-pop. But like I said, I I was like one of the confused people, so I started searching their names up. Like, for instance, BTS was big in 2018. I think they were always big, you can say, but not always. I don't. What am I saying? Anyways, so I started searching like BTS because I was curious to like why do people actually like BTS? Well, not just BTS, just K-pop in general, you know. So I started like searching their names, and then I started watching videos. I was curious, so I started searching their names, and then I watched their videos, and they were so entertaining. Like, each member has obviously have their own personalities, and sometimes you can like actually relate to a member, and that was the case for me. I actually started watching them before actually listening to their songs, and so like watching them, um their content, like their reality shows or like their live streams and stuff, really brings comfort to me back then. But even now, I actually started studying a few other groups. So everything is kind of various right now. But anyways, so back then, um, just watching someone brings comfort to you. So I started listening to their songs, which was actually really good. And you listening to a song that's not in your language is a bit like, at first it was like, oh wow, this sounds great. But when you started like, you really want to get to know this group, so you started searching their lyrics, which just go like to a whole nother level, you know like they have deep lyrics and you can actually like relate to the lyrics, and so that makes you wanna translate like the lyrics even more, and so like you're slowly getting to know the group like day by day, or like baby steps, baby steps. And so when you start like translating the songs, I mean like the lyrics, you also get to know like different languages, and you slowly get like to learn languages. But not only that, I think the good thing about standing groups is that you can communicate with fans from all over the world. Like it doesn't matter if like you're from this country. I don't know if this makes sense, but like if you go on social media, you can like communicate with fans. That's what I mean. um so yeah, it's like really fun. So that was when I stan BTS. After I stan BTS, I actually got into Monsta X and then ATs. I'm currently listening to NCT, but besides the groups that I mentioned, I also like a lot other groups like Shiny. If you're talking about girl groups, maybe Red Velvet. I also like Blackpink, Stray Kids, and so on. I actually like a lot of groups. Like I said, there are many groups and many different groups, like with different concepts and stuff. So besides that, I also want to say like it's okay to like K-pop, and you're allowed to like different groups. Like how many groups you want to like, you're allowed to, because I've seen quite a few people saying that you should only like one group. You shouldn't, get into another group. But for me, personally, I think you're allowed to like any group you like. Just don't throw hate to each other, just what makes you happy, and so on. So what's interesting about K-pop, like I said, besides their performances and also their music, they also have like physical albums. Physical albums are like, like this is BTS's physical album. It's really pretty. It Though this can be like different for each group, because some groups have like maybe kits. By kits I mean like different content, like the packaging and stuff. And for BTS, they have like the small notes and also like photo cards. I think each group has photo cards for their album. So I think that's what's so interesting about K-pop, is that they not only have like concepts, like nice music, like good music, they also have like physical albums, also merch. And so I've asked quite a few people on their opinions about K-pop. Since due to this pandemic, like this outbreak, I can't really have a physical guest with me. So I've asked like help from fans all over the world, and they actually did send me videos, which I will be playing it right now after this, maybe by the end of the video. So yeah, I've also asked like quite a few people. I will be sharing like a few answers to why they stan ATs, because I actually love ATs so much. ATs brings like comfort to me, like I said, not only because of their stage presence, but also because their content themselves. Like I can relate to a member. I can relate to a member, but not only that, they would like give you motivation, So like I've asked quite a few people, and they said the same thing. Like BTS BTS or ATEEZ or any other group has helped them not only like not only just because they're entertaining, but also, like I said, comforting. Whenever you feel sad, you just want to distract yourself from your own problems maybe for a while, so you just like enjoy the content they release, you can say. So I think that's the case for me and also for most people. So I just want to say, like, you're allowed to like K-pop. You can actually get to know K-pop. It's not a bad thing to like K-pop, because I know quite a few people that say that, oh, if you like K-pop, then you're a downgrade, you can say. I'm not quite sure, like, I don't really understand what they mean by that. It's just that just anyone at all is allowed to like something, and if someone likes something, you shouldn't like touch it. Like, you shouldn't talk, you shouldn't even show hate about it, because it's their own decision. So that's my own opinion. And yes, that's the end of my podcast. So tune in for the guest videos.
Hi, my name is Annika and I'm from Germany, and I listen to K-pop, I guess. Apart from listening, I also watch a lot of K-pop, because what actually got me to K-pop was the performance part. I saw a video of BTS dancing and singing at the same time, and I was like, okay, this is it. And I've been a K-pop fan ever since. I also like ATEEZ for the same reason, because they're such a strong performance group. And the music is obviously great and experimental. There's basically any genre in K-pop, and comebacks, like the releases of EPs and albums and singles, are quite regular.
Hi, I'm Amanda and I'm from Indonesia. I'm a college student and I'm a fan of ATEEZ. I'm an ATEEZ. Question number 1, why do you stand ATEEZ? I really love all their songs. Like, their songs is very good. The lyrics also beautiful and meaningful for me. ATEEZ is not just about visuals. They're also talented, and everything you need is on ATEEZ. Like, when you need to get more tension up, you can listen to Wonderland. And when you are on down pace or whenever you're sad, you can listen to My Way or Sunrise. And when you need to chill and want to rest, you can listen to Wave. Question number 2, why are they your comfort idols? They always give quotes that comforts me and cheering me up. And as a college student, sometimes I feel like I'm too lazy and want to rest from everything. Whenever in that time, I always listen to their songs and watch them on YouTube or any platform. And it always motivates me to do my tasks, to do my reports, like that. So you can call it my support system. ATEEZ is my support system, number 2 after my family. Also, ATEEZ is always care about us. They always care about ATEEZ, like they always put ATEEZ on every moment, like that. I really love ATEEZ. I love ATEEZ so much.
Thank you for tuning in. That's the end of my podcast, and I would also like to thank Annika and Amanda for helping me out with my podcast. I also hope you guys get an idea about K-pop, and also why people actually listen to K-pop. So I hope you guys have a great day, and once again, thank you for watching my podcast.